Hello and welcome back to the Jesuit Novitiate here in St. Paul, Minnesota. We are here for video number 4, which was questions submitted by the audience. So today we're in our dining room here at the Novitiate, and the 2 questions which we will be featuring, both of which are from novice parents, are, the first is, when did you first know that God was calling you to join the Jesuits? And the second question is, where did you find God today? So enjoy, and be sure to check back in for our final video, number 5, with a big surprise next week.
Hi, my name is Brennan Hamilton. I'm from Canton, Ohio. I first started to have these inklings that God was calling me to something more in my life, as we say in the Jesuit lexicon, the magus. And I really started to notice that through college, things that I was interested in really started to fall away, and God became more evident in my prayers, and this really profound desire to serve other people became very, very much apparent, and that's what kept me going. That's what satisfied me. Where did I find God today? I found God today in a ghost pepper. I was at my teaching assignment, which is at Christore Jesuit High School, Go Pumas, and one of these students asked me if I would like to try one. So I tried one. It was very hot. I was sweating profusely, but I really found in that moment that I became a fool for Christ, and I was able to really connect with that student, and we had a good conversation afterwards. So I found God today in the ghost pepper.
Hi, my name is Conan Rainwater, and I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota. I first became interested in the Jesuits probably about 3 years ago when I went to the vow ceremony and liturgy for the Jesuit novices. Seeing the Jesuit novices profess their vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience before the Eucharist and the body of Christ, I just knew that something in me just wanted to do that as well. Where did I find God today? I found God today in my ministry. I work at Pascal Balon Elementary School, and I was helping a student doing her homework, and she was having trouble reading, and knowing that I had to go to speech class when I was younger, it was nice to kind of give back in that way and to help her kind of read a little bit slower, that way she could understand it and so she could finish her homework.
My name is Jim Kennedy. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I really felt called by God to come to the Jesuits when I was in graduate school, and there was a lot of reasons why my life wasn't working at that point. I hadn't quite surrendered control of everything at that point. And one day, I just sort of felt that I needed to look in a different direction, and that I was going to let God choose that direction. And it just so happened that what I was studying at the time was the history of the Jesuits in Canada, and I was reading about them, and I said, why can't I do that too? And that was when I really first felt called, and it was in that I just received more and more confirmation on it. The more I read, the more I talked to people, I said, this is something that I could actually do. That was really the beginning for me. Where did I find God today? That's one of those phrases that is actually kind of frustrating. It's the only thing that sort of saints get to say. Like St. Ignatius said, find God in all things. Well, that's fine, because he's a saint. But when I knew that was the question, I thought about it, like, well, okay, I better try and find God in all things today. And you know what? Oddly enough, that's how you do it. If you're open to finding God in anything, you will find it in everything. And that was sort of my experience today. But what was really the biggest moment was at the homeless day shelter I work at, Listening House in St. Paul, just watching the sort of joyful way the staff there goes about the very important work that they do. I saw the light of Christ in them, and as well, and other people saw it as well. So that was where I found God today.
My name is Jack McClendon, and I'm from Lakewood, Ohio. Even though I went to a Jesuit high school in Cleveland, I did not really think about joining the Jesuits when I was there. It wasn't until after I graduated that I had an experience the summer after graduation in which I was listening to a song on the radio called You Can Have Me by Sidewalk Prophets. And it was a song that really spoke to me and asked me to really come to terms with the fact that what does your faith mean to you, and would you be willing to give up everything and follow Christ? And that was really the pivotal moment for me that I started looking into this life. Where did I find God today? In reflecting, I realized it was when I was riding the bus home from my ministry. I was doing some of the reading for our class on Catholic social teaching, and as I was reading about human rights and the rights of workers and everything, and realized I was riding the bus right alongside all of these people, and realized the ways that those teachings applied to them. It was kind of an aha moment of our faith relating to real people.
More than ever, I find myself in the hands of God.
This is what I have wanted all my life from my youth.
But now there is a difference. The initiative is entirely with God.
It is indeed a profound spiritual experience to know and feel myself so totally in God's hands. Pedro Rupe, S.J.